The Texans send out second-year man Kaimi Fairbairn to get us started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On second down, here's Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
This is Ajayi. Ajayi first down and more. And finally down at the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
Working from the gun, Wentz toward the pylon, caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time, second and goal.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Second and goal from the 1. Shotgun now for Wentz. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. This could very well be 4-down territory, but right now we focus on third and goal from the 1. They'll try to run it now with Sproles. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Darren Sproles taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 50, it's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here. No game on the board.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Watson to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Watson looks to throw again, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. They'll go with Foreman, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there, punching it in from a yard away. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Wentz now on 1st down. This complete left side to Aguilar. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Ertz over the middle. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 54 yards away. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get the field goal here at the end of the 2nd quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Here's Thompson on the return. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the 1st half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the 2nd half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Watson hands this to Foreman. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Dumps it complete to Miller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Brought down by Nate Gehring.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Down. Black 22.
Here's Watson now on second down. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Fuller. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
Down. Black 22.
Now Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. It's hauled in by Ellington. And down inside the 15 he goes. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Down. Green, the line. Green.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Black 22. Black 22.
On second down, here's Miller. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. On the return, it's Wendell Smallwood. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. On play action, Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, Tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
They run with Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They run again with Ajayi. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. So a big, big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. And Elliott puts this one through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. And now out comes Houston. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. He's got Fuller. And all the way down to the 35. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, and even 40 yards. And the spike comes with just 12 seconds left to go. And that one is incomplete, and it stops the clock at 12 seconds left in the half. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this kick is not gonna get there. It's short and no good. Well, they got themselves in position to at least entertain the thoughts of an overtime, but as it turns out, it was not meant to be, Charles.
And you feel bad for a kicker in this spot. He's going to have to shoulder a lot of the blame, but in reality, this will be a team loss. They didn't do enough collectively to get the job done.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.